Big doings this Sunday in the town of Fairhaven. Here to tell us about it is Lieutenant G. Bourne Knowles of the Fairhaven Fire Department. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Look, we've got the big fire muster and parade happening Sunday in Fairhaven. Now, we record this program on Thursday. It's happening today, folks. This event is happening today, Sunday. And let's first start off, Lieutenant, with what is a fire muster? People may not know.
Well, a fire muster originated many, many years ago as a type of drill for the fire departments, and then it became a competition, as with many things. It competing with other fire departments on certain events that are directly related to the fire service, stretching hose, squirting water, climbing ladders, all of these many different events. And again, it started out as a practice, which then turned into a competition.
Right. So basically, it's an event that shows off the skills of a firefighter.
Correct.
Yep.
And you have teams of 5 individuals that will compete in all of these separate events, and they're timed events that the fastest is the winner.
So, how many other departments are going to be taking part in this event today?
Tentatively, right now, we have 3, 4 fire departments that come in. Many just show up and bring their apparatus to the parades, which is what leads off the muster. And so right now we have 3 or 4.
All right. So what's the schedule per se for Sunday the 26th?
The parade will start, and the parade consists of fire apparatus from many different departments, Rhode Island, antiques, things like that. And that starts from the now Tractor Supply parking lot, the old Citizens Bank parking lot, proceeds towards the water on Washington Street, which we then take a right on Main Street, head north up to Livesey Park, which is in North Fairhaven, in between Howland Road and Glenhaven, and where we have everything set up there for the events in the field.
Parade starts at 11.
11 o'clock.
And the muster itself starts at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock.
All right. Besides the muster, what else is happening there?
We have smaller events for kids, as for squirting water. There's a bounce house. There's food. There's drinks. Music. We sell T-shirts and cups and small items for the event to keep the event going.
All right. So all of that is really just to, this event, you want it to be self-sufficient, and the money from those sales goes to that.
Supports the event.
Okay. So there are other fire departments who participate in the parade but may not participate in the muster? Is that how it works?
Sometimes. Sometimes fire departments will bring their apparatus and just drive in the parade, and then the kids can see all the apparatus and climb on it and go around and check everything out.
Sure. So let's get back to the muster for a moment. How long does that last?
Usually, depending on the teams, it can last up to 2 to 3 hours. Each team competes. There are 3 main events and then what we call a mystery event. And that is something that nobody knows about till the end of the muster, so nobody can get prepared for it or anything like that.
Do you know what it is?
I certainly do.
Okay, but you're not.
I'm not going to divulge that information at this time.
All right. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. My guest is Lieutenant G. Bourne Knowles of the Fairhaven Fire Department. We're discussing the Fairhaven Fire Muster, which is happening today. The fun starts with a parade of fire trucks at 11 a.m. on Washington Street. It ends at Livesey Park, where the muster will take place starting at 1. So you've mentioned some of the events included in the fire muster. Who's doing the judging?
We have retired firefighters that will judge each event. There are 3 judges that are on the field that, again, it's a timed event, so they all have stopwatches and contribute a bulk of the time.
All right. I imagine that firefighters probably take this event pretty seriously.
It is a friendly competition, but yes, there can be protests, and that's how it all started out way back. Because individuals, firefighters, everybody, it becomes a competition, and who can do it better, who can do it faster, and so that's the main part of it.
All right. Who are the departments involved, as we know now?
Right now we have a couple from Dartmouth. There's one from Mattapoisett, Berkeley, and hopefully Lakeville and some other outlying towns will come in.
And Fairhaven?
And Fairhaven does not compete.
Oh.
We only judge and put the event on. That would be cheating because everybody would know the mystery event. And then, so we try to stay out of it.
So that's how it is, the home event. The home
team doesn't get to play. We participate in many musters throughout the region. Mm-hmm. There used to be long time ago many of these events, but as times have changed, that they've dwindled down. So we've tried to keep this one going, along with a few other towns around us, just to keep the old time stuff going.
Yeah. How did the idea of a muster start in Fairhaven? Let's talk about that for a moment.
Well, when Fairhaven had its 200th anniversary, we had planned through that whole process of a old-time muster, hand-drawn hose wagons. We couldn't get any horses, but we wanted to get that feel, the old uniforms, the old which contributed to the rest of the town having its event throughout that. I think it was a month-long process. So we started the muster a couple of years earlier to get everything in line,
sure.
And then we just continued it. It originally was just going to be a one-time thing. We were going to do it for the 200th, but fortunately we've been able to keep some activity to it. We've had our bumps throughout the years, but we've been able to keep it going, and it's for the community to see it and kind of see what we do instead of an actual incident where this is fun. They can sit down, drink, eat, and watch the competition. It doesn't last terribly long. It's again 2 to 3 hours. Starting at 1 o'clock, and so it's not a long all-day process. So it's kind of fun that And now we're incorporating the kids' events to get the kids in, squirting some hose, bouncy house, and getting them to watch the event.
And of course, these other departments will bring their folks, their families along.
They do. They bring tents, they bring other wives, significant others, and and have a good time. When you get a group of individuals that are like-minded, it just happens.
Sure. And
then you have all the fire trucks, the antiques that we're fortunate here in the town of Fairhaven to have a wide variety of our old antique apparatus that we've been able to keep in town and hasn't gone to the scrapyard. So it's neat to see that evolution from we hold a contest of oldest apparatus in service, longest traveled, best aerial, best engine. So we have a contest for that also, and there are judges obviously for that, and so that you get to see the evolution of the fire truck, the size, we have a 46 Maxim that is very small. Now we have our modern fire apparatus, which is very large. So it's interesting to see that.
Is there a circuit of fire musters that are done every spring and summer?
There is. Berkeley is probably one of the largest. They've been going about 30 years. That happens every Father's Day up in Berkeley, and that is a neat event. Same thing. almost the same vibe that you will get at ours. And other towns have come and gone, and they come back, they hold it, they try. Swansea's trying to keep theirs going. And again, it takes a lot to put the event on and to get the event going. So, we try to encourage more, and that's why we've tried to keep ours going.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. Okay, we can't say it enough. This event is today, starting at 11 this morning on Washington Street in Fairhaven, a parade of fire equipment, fire apparatus, I should say, from a number of different communities. They'll be displaying their equipment, as will Fairhaven, right? Fairhaven
Absolutely.
will be in the parade. And then the parade will go on to Libsey Park in North Fairhaven, and that's where the muster will be held starting at 1 o'clock. There'll be food, music, and fun for those who are not participating in the muster, but there'll also be a lot of excitement, I would imagine, with some of this, some of the competition that is a fun competition.
It can be quite funny.
Yeah.
When there's a certain event, it's called a midnight alarm, and that's when we have the firefighters laying on their bellies, away from at their feet will be all their fire gear. Yeah. And they have to get up and get in their fire gear and then run a course, whatever course that will be, ropes, dragging hose around.
Yeah.
And
that might be funny.
What happens is that while they're not looking, their bunker gear, as we call it, that's our fire gear that we wear, is mixed up. So they're not wearing. They just have to, and it's a timed event, so you're trying to do this as fast as you can, and they're trying to put someone else's boots on. So you get guys with two left feet, two left boots, a coat that is 2 sizes too small, and then they have to run in the muster. So it's things like that you try and incorporate into it to keep it humorous and lively.
Sure, you've got an audience to entertain after
yes.
all. Certainly. Okay, so 11 o'clock this morning now. This morning, you're listening. It's Sunday morning, and it is early, but this morning at 11 on Washington Street in Fairhaven, the firefighters parade, the fire apparatus, with a muster to follow at 11 o'clock. The parade's at 11, the muster at 1 o'clock at Libsey Park in Fairhaven. You've had some nice crowds, I bet, in the past.
We have. The parade route, one thing about the parade is that we call it a wet parade. So there can be some squirting of water between, people that are watching in their homes and the people on the fire apparatus. Water balloons may be involved, things like that to keep the parade a little more fun also.
This is becoming more and more fun as we keep talking about it. It sounds like a fun time, Lieutenant, and should be a great show, and a way to watch firefighters display their skills, which we all, of course, we want a fire department, we want firefighters, but when you need a firefighter, that's a great thing because they're there and they're showing up and they are trained and skilled. And you get to see some of these skills at the fire muster. 1 o'clock, Libsey Park in Fairhaven, later today. It's happening for folks. Check out the parade at 11, Washington Street, then head to Libsey Park at 1 with a lawn chair. Enjoy the fun. Thanks to Lieutenant G-Born Knowles for coming in to discuss the 9th Annual Fairhaven Fire Muster and Parade later today. Thanks again.
Thank you. Hope to see everybody there.
That's it for Townsquare Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Also, thanks to our production director, Jason Kent, digital editor, Casey Sylvia, for helping us get this program on the air and on our website. Tune in next week for Townsquare Sunday. Until then, have a great week and a wonderful Sunday.